Welcome to Alert Tales, where we dive deep into the most gripping stories of real-life experiences. If you love tales that evoke emotion, spark conversation, and connect us all, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community for more captivating stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat.
I don't give a shit about my job and I can't fake it anymore. I work at a big global investment bank. I write risk reports and get paid a lot to do it. My salary has allowed me to provide for my family, allow my wife to pursue her dream career, pay for all the expensive sports and activities that my kids are into. The thing is, this job and the stuff I produce is absolutely meaningless to me. I basically read the news, run some numbers, and write a report that says, yes, we have a material level of cybersecurity risk at the bank, and it's increasing. It's like they pay me a lot of money to put the most glaringly obvious thing on a PowerPoint slide so that overpaid executives can say there is increasing risk and act like they're so smart. My boss is constantly telling me to get myself more exposure to senior management so that I can be placed on high visibility projects. I really don't need to bust my ass and spend less time with my family so that I can make more money. But I have to put on an act or he'll think that I'm not dedicated. Recently, two of my team had a conflict about how to best put together a report, and we even had to get HR involved because one of them, who is just so overly fucking ambitious, accused the other that they were purposefully undermining their work. I wanted to yell at them, "Are you fucking serious? Do your stupid meaningless reports, get fucking paid, and go live your life. What the fuck? We're not saving lives, we're not educating children, we're not helping people in need, we're not progressing humanity's knowledge of the universe. We're literally working to make rich people get richer." I really don't give a shit about how much risk the bank is taking on when it invests the money of their billionaire clients in a property development in Chengdu. I really don't. I'll do my work and I'll do it well so that I can keep paying the mortgage and paying for my kids' activities, but I can't keep acting like this shit really matters to me anymore.
I am disabled and my twin is not. My brother just lost his virginity and I resent him for it. I, a 17-year-old male, have an identical twin brother. Due to complications at birth, I became disabled in a way that left me with a facial disfigurement, as well as a myriad of other health and behavioral problems. I won't get into details for privacy concerns. I am very close to my brother. We have had a close sibling bond ever since we were children. He has always defended me against bullies, and it at times has felt like he is the only person who treats me like a human. Over the last few years, however, puberty has hit and has changed everything. There have always been things that he could do that I couldn't, of course, but I can't take it anymore. He has gotten handsome, and girls are starting to take notice. He used to be shy and reserved like me, but he's starting to gain confidence. He has lots of friends. I cover for him while he sneaks out to go to parties I'm not able to attend because of various reasons. Last night he came home grinning. I kept asking him to tell me why he looked so happy. Eventually I got it out of him that he had gotten a BJ from his crush, and maybe more. What is more? It's something I will never ever know. As he told me, it's like I could see the situation in third person. I was his crippled, useless brother begging him to share just a tiny piece of his life. Right now, I am locked in the bathroom, shaking with anger. This is something nobody can ever understand. If I hadn't have been left with this fucked up, useless body, I would be him. I would look like him. I would have what he has. Every single day. I have to watch the version of me that wasn't left broken and disfigured live the perfect life, like something out of a teen movie. He is a living reminder to me that I am not normal, and to make everything worse, the only thing I have ever had against him is that I could beat him at chess. Our dad got us into the game at a young age, and we both played obsessively for a long time. I played in a few tournaments that he didn't qualify for. It meant everything to me. But now, as you can probably guess, he has rapidly caught up to me. This is despite me having all the time in the world to practice as he lives his party animal life. I wish I didn't have a brother. I wish it was him and not me.
My co-worker is a totally normal person and he fascinates me. He has no mental health problems like everyone else here and most of the other people in my life. He isn't on any meds, he's physically healthy. I've had to explain my panic attacks, anxiety, my meds, being overwhelmed by basically everything and so much more to him because he's never experienced or heard of them. Almost everyone I know is a mess, and the contrast between them, myself and him is amazing to me. It's like he's a machine, just some other things. He's never late to work, he doesn't oversleep, he doesn't have trouble sleeping. He doesn't have meltdowns, tantrums, outbursts, or shutdowns. He isn't allergic to anything, and he has no food sensitivities, or at least none that he knows of. He works out every day, either at home or the gym. He has no chronic health issues. He doesn't get stuck, freeze, or get trapped in a loop. He can drive without issue and knows how to get to where he wants to go without his phone. Detours don't cause him any issues. If things don't go to plan or have to change or just fall apart, he just adapts and moves on. He can just talk to people, males, females, just casual conversation. If a big choice has to be made, he just makes it. He does what he says he'll do when he says he'll do it, the way he says he'll do it. He can solve problems, there's no Googling, no looking it up, he just knows. He doesn't keep his phone on him all day, he just puts it away and has no need to look at it. He doesn't use social media, he doesn't follow it, he doesn't care about it.
When I was younger, I took my door off its hinges to protest my lack of personal space at home. My father left my mother and I when I was very young. She met and married a man who I will call Daryl, and we moved into his house. Daryl had 2 daughters from his previous marriage, who I will call Blair and Mindy. At the time of this story, I was 12 years old, Blair was 16 or 17, and Mindy was 10 or 11. Something that had been a recurring issue at the time was that my things would go missing in my bedroom. Usually little things or my allowance. I was sure both Blair and Mindy were going through my things, but Daryl and my mom always said I was just losing things. I had to keep my allowance in a hiding spot so it wouldn't get lost. It was the summer, and during the day, both my mother and Daryl worked full-time jobs, so it was the 3 of us left alone at the house. Blair had her driver's license taken away, so she was primarily a homebody who spent her time blasting music or using Daryl's home computer to chat with her friends on AIM. Mindy spent all day watching cartoons on the family TV and refused to share. She'd throw a tantrum if she didn't get her way. I had recently bought a TV VCR combo at a garage sale and had it up in my room so I could play video games. I had recently bought a game, want to say it was Skies of Arcadia, and was looking forward to playing it that summer. I had just taken a shower and went back to my room to find my GameCube and cables strewn all over the floor and my TV missing. Mindy was already camped out in front of the TV, so I had a good guess she hadn't taken it. I went to Blair's room and knocked on the door before she answered. I could hear a TV commercial in her room and asked her to return it. I had paid for it. It was mine. She told me it was bullshit for some dumb little brat to have a TV in his room, and it made more sense for her to have it. She told me to get the fuck out of her room and out of their house and out of their lives. She slammed the door after I stepped out. I stood there for a moment before going and getting a Capri Sun. This was the last straw. I had enough of dealing with all of this nonsense. I sat and drank for a bit before having the idea of removing my door off its hinges. I went to Daryl's office and Googled how to do it and printed out a list of tools and how to do it. Daryl thankfully had everything I needed. It took me about a half hour to do it, and another 15 minutes to lug it out to the garage and prop it against the wall. I was thankful I was situated on the first floor. I then went and grabbed a book off of Daryl's bookshelf and started reading and waiting. Daryl was the first to arrive and immediately noticed the door in the garage. He then went around the house to figure out where it came from, and he stopped at my room. He looked at me for a moment before asking me if I thought this was funny while he gestured at my doorframe. I replied, "Not really, no." I said since no one respects my privacy or my right to my own space, I didn't see the point of having a door after Blair took my TV. This really set him off. He told me this was his house, and to get up and put the damn door back on or else. I told him he was more than welcome to do it himself. He screamed at me that I was going to get it when my mother got home.
My mom arrived not much later and came to sit on my bed while I kept reading. She asked me calmly why I did this. I told her Blair and Mindy kept stealing my things and that I felt like I wasn't being treated fairly as a member of this household. If my things didn't belong to me and if I didn't have a right to my things or my own space, then I didn't need a door since no one respected it anyway. She was pretty upset by what I had said. She wanted to know what happened. I pointed at where my TV was and my console and controller still laying abandoned across the floor. I told her Blair had taken it and told her what Blair had said. My mom got up and told me to wait a moment and left my room. I could hear shouting. First Daryl, then my mom, then Blair, and then my mom again. My mom had Daryl bring my TV back into my room and apologize for screaming at me. They asked how much of my allowance had Blair and Mindy stolen from me. My mom then came over and hugged me and told me she was sorry for not taking me seriously before and not standing up for me.
The next day, Mom had Daryl install a lock on my door and gave me a key. The three of us were the only ones who got to have access to my bedroom going forward. It's fucking insane this was 20 years ago. Where has the time gone? Edit. Since some of you asked, Blair and Mindy lead normal lives. People grow up. Daryl mostly mellowed out once Blair moved out. Him and my mom are still married.